Hello everyone, and welcome to my first ever commentary. And I've been meaning to do a commentary for a while actually. Up until this point, I didn't feel like I had any gameplays that were worth commentating over. So, this clip here, we have a MOAB fail on interchange, but the clip coming up after is a MOAB success on C-Town, which is actually the first one that I've ever gotten in this game. And on the topic of that, I understand for most of you guys, it's pretty old news, you know, not really a big deal anymore, but for someone like me who is a pretty average player that generally likes to run around like an idiot most of the time, getting and keeping those long kill streaks is just not that common for me. You know, it doesn't come that easily to me. So to finally get up to that, the first MOAB was actually pretty cool. And what I'm going to try to do in this video is break down some of the things that I did that helped and some of the things that I did that didn't help or could have backfired. And so again, if you're like me and you struggle to get the long kill streaks, hopefully this will help you at least a little bit in getting there. So, specifics of the class, definitely use the specialist with the gun that you're comfortable with. It doesn't really matter what gun it is, as long as you're comfortable with it, but obviously it gets a little bit easier if you use an assault rifle or an SMG. You know, in this one I'm using a suppressed ACR, which is, you know, with the specialist bonus, it's basically the most death laser in the game. So, and again, yeah, you don't want to, I mean, there's really no need to hamper yourself or to handicap yourself with some obscure gun or something that you're not really comfortable with. You might as well try to make it as easy as you can. And the other thing that I'm doing is playing with the full party, and you don't need to play with, you know, 5 other people, but it definitely helps to at least be on a team with at least a few good players, because they'll know how to control the spawns. They'll, you know, in this case, a lot of these guys are running support package, so you know they're throwing up UAVs and recon drones and all that good stuff. So the only drawback to playing with the full team is you will be competing for kills, which isn't really a big deal. But you definitely want to make sure you get off to a pretty good start, because, you know, you'll see in the C-Town clip that, you know, if you don't get off to a good start, it may come back to haunt you. But anyways, for this clip, this is where I make the fatal mistake here. You know, the entire time I was, you know, sticking to the outsides, not rushing their spawn too much, and, you know, there I get a little greedy trying to get that other kill in the distance with marksman, and I end up getting shot in the back, and I lose what ends up being actually a 23 kill streak. So I was 1 away from the MOAB there. It wasn't until after the game that I discovered I was at 23, so much sadness ensued. So this is the C-Town clip, and again, I'm using complete cheeseball easy mode gun, which is the MP7. And, you know, at this point in the night, I tried, you know, a couple times, or actually probably about 4 or 5 times to get the MOAB, failed pretty miserably, and so I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna play like a total cheeseball here, and just try to do everything in my power to make it as easy as possible to get this streak. So I'm pretty much just patrolling this little house here, because, you know, the enemy's spawning up at C. They're really only going to funnel down, you know, that path there, and that outside area that I was just at not too long ago. And I'm careful not to rush into their spawn too much, because, you know, there's a good chance someone's going to spawn beside me or behind me, you know, without me knowing, and you know, just get an easy kill. So I don't venture out too much, at least in the beginning here. I'm just basically getting kills on the people that are coming around, trying to get into the B area. And, you know, I end up actually getting a fair amount of kills that way. But you'll see as the game progresses, you know, at a certain point, I have to start rushing around trying to find people to kill. And right there, I get very lucky that I hit the specialist bonus right before I killed that guy with Dead Man's Hand, because otherwise, you know, without blast shield, I definitely would have been blown up by that, which would have been very aggravating, as I'm sure all of you guys are are aggravated by the death streaks in this game. But anyways, so again, you know, basically just camping my ass off here, which is not something that I normally like to do because it's boring and I'm very impatient. But again, I'm trying to do whatever I can here to try to make it easy on myself. And here, teammates telling me he's got some vests for me, so run out and grab some. And no sooner does a guy with akimbo FMGs run through the door there and actually almost kill me. If it wasn't for the vests, I could have very easily died from that. And you can kind of hear in the death mic he's going off, and during the game I thought he was talking to me every time I killed him, but it was until after I was actually watching back this clip that he's actually, I think he was talking trash to his team, you know, pretty much constantly, which is kind of weird. But anyways, and you know, I make a little circuit around the map just to see what's going on, but I still end up in this little house here. And now what happened is the spawns kind of flipped. They captured A. I mean, there's still a few guys that spawned over in the C area here, but now they're basically spawning at A, and they do so for pretty much the rest of the game here. So at this point now, I kind of got to run around, and A is a little bit trickier, just because there's that big house there on my left that a lot of times they like to post up in, and it can be difficult to get kills in there, especially if they're all sort of bunched up. And here I get lucky not to get panic knifed, which seems to happen to me a lot. But again, I got very lucky that he decided not to knife me. I don't know, maybe I was a second ahead of him or something, I don't know. But here I'm checking to see if anyone spawns in that little stone area, which they sometimes do at A, but I guess they're mostly just spawning it in the house. And again, I kill that guy and he's still going off on his teammates. I don't know what his problem is. And right there, vest saved me again, and rather than, you know, mess around, I say, you know what, I'm gonna strap on another ballistic vest here and try to protect myself. So at this point the game is starting to wind down a little bit. I actually have no idea how many kills I have at this point, and I didn't in the game either. And so this is what I mean when it really helps to get off to a good start, because once you get later into the game, basically you're gonna have time working against you. You know, I mean, it's already 192. You know, the game is essentially over, and it's actually fortunate that they capped both A and C, because otherwise the game would have ended long before I could get the MOAB here. So yeah, here I'm desperately running around trying to figure out where they're at. Teammates are telling me they're all in the A house. I'm like, okay, you know what? Game's just about to end. I gotta get a kill. I see this guy on my mini map running for the kill. And I could not have called this in fast enough. I mean, unfortunately, the game ends before it finishes counting down. But there you go. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this helped, and I will hopefully be posting more commentaries.